All right, friends, I'm back, and we're going to continue to learn about our community. So these are things that are found around our community. And today we're going to talk about the fire station. All right. Now, those of you that don't know what a fire station is, it's where like all the fire trucks, the firemen, and other things like that. It's where a place where they go and they wait to receive a call from the community or people or the police that need help when dealing with a fire or emergency services. So a fire station can look all different types of ways, and this is just one of the ways. All right, a fire station is usually a building, and it has like big garage doors for the vehicles to go in. If you can see right here, you got like a little bell tower, stuff like that. Mr. V actually has a fire station down the road from where I live, and it looks kind of similar to this, but smaller. Because they come in all different sizes. You know, if you live like in a bigger city, they're probably bigger. If you live in smaller towns, they're probably smaller. All right, so this is a fire station. All right, and what you could see right here, if you look closely, what is that? Yeah, if you said fire truck, you are correct. And you know what? Look how that one looks. That's like old, right? It looks old. You don't really see those anymore. Well, a fire truck can look like this. All right, fire trucks look all different, okay? And the fire trucks usually can hold water. It's what transports or carries or lets the firefighters ride in them to take them to the fire. All right, this is a fire truck. And like I said, if firemen are the ones that ride in the truck, then who drives the truck? Well, guys, it wasn't a trick question because it is a fireman. All right, the firemen are the ones. Firemen or women, because you know women can also be firefighters too. So these firefighters are who come and help put out the fires or respond to emergencies. All right. Well, what's great about firefighters, they have all sorts of equipment that they need to wear. So let's look closely. What do you think this is called right here? You're right. It's an oxygen mask. All right. If you didn't know what oxygen was, oxygen is something that's in the air. What we're breathing right now is that what we need, all right? We need oxygen to survive, all right? And this mask gives him the oxygen that he needs when he's fighting the fire. Like if he's in the building that's on fire, he breathes through his oxygen mask so that he can still have air to breathe. Because when you're around fire, it's hard to breathe, all right? Now he's wearing an oxygen mask. He's also wearing a fire coat. All right, fire coats can be heavy. They can come in different colors too. But it's the type of coat that has material that protects the body from fire. All right, it doesn't let you get burned by the fire. So it's a fire coat. Another thing that a firefighter wears is a fire helmet. Now helmets, again, they look all different too. You put it on top of your head and it protects your head from fire. All right, this one even has a mask that goes over it. So it has the oxygen mask that we saw before and then a mask that goes over that as well. So let's say that these firefighters are sitting at the fire station. They're ready. They're about to get on their fire trucks because you have one of these. All right, you have one of these in your house. It's called a smoke detector. And if it goes off, if it starts making that loud beep noise like beep, 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 it means that it detects or it knows that there's smoke in the house. And usually it goes off when your parents are cooking and all that. But let's say they're not cooking, all right, and it goes off. That means that there's some smoke in the house, which really means that there might be a fire. And if your parents have one of these, a fire extinguisher, and these are also found in our school too, and usually in any big buildings or even small buildings, a fire extinguisher is something that can put out small fires. So if there is a small fire and you have one of these, or your parents do, whatever, they can use this to put out the small fire. But let's say you don't have one of these and you can't put the fire out, and there's a fire at home, so you call 911, and you're like, oh, hey, there's a fire at this address, and you tell them, and then the firefighters come. But it might not even be at your home. Let's say it's at a park or nearby. Regardless, if there's a fire, just stay away and just call the police, and then they'll call the firefighters, and they'll come to you, all right? But always just stay away. Now, let's say that the fire is too tall. Let's say like it's on the top of the building. It's not down at the bottom, but it's at the top. So obviously, firefighters, they can't reach that high. So what do they need to get on? Right, it's a ladder. All right, now a lot of these ladders are connected to the fire trucks, but if they're not, firefighters bring their own ladders and then they climb up the ladders and they spray the fire with water. All right, but how do you spray it? All right, I know I said with water, but what do they use? You're right, they use that fire hose right there. Do you see that hose? That hose is connected to usually the fire truck, because the fire truck can hold water, and then they spray it out, or it's connected to, hold on, let me show you a ladder, a fire hydrant. Now, this fire hydrant you usually see along the streets or in your neighborhood on the roads, all right? A fire hydrant is where the firefighters can hook up the hose to this part right here, and it has water, and it's used to help put out the fires, all right? Now, what is something you usually see by a fire hydrant? Or let me ask, what kind of animal usually uses a fire hydrant? I know it's kind of weird for me to ask, but if you said a dog, you're right. Usually dogs pee on fire hydrants. Now, this is typically the type of dog that you associate or that you see with fire stations because it's like their fire dog. You know how like the police have a dog, like a police dog? This is typically a fire station dog or firefighter dog, and this type of dog is called a Dalmatian. All right, a Dalmatian. They can help firefighters. See, like this one's carrying rope, so it wants to give rope to firefighters if they need it. Usually, they're just good buddies to have. All right. Now, friends, those are all the things that I wanted to share with you about the fire station. Let's go over them one more time. All right. So we have the fire station. All right, it's the building where all the firefighters stay and keep all their supplies and fire trucks. We have the fire trucks that carries water and drives the firefighters to wherever the fire is or any type of emergency. All right, then we have the firefighters. All right, and remember what they wear, it could be different depending on where you go. And this one's wearing an oxygen mask. Remember, it helps you breathe. They also wear a fire coat, protects the body from fire. The fire helmet, it protects your head from the fire. You have this in your house. We have them in school too. It's a smoke detector, so anytime that there's smoke, this will go off and it lets us know that there might be a fire nearby. All right, and let's say there is a small fire nearby and a parent around or an adult is around, they can use a fire extinguisher to put it out. But remember, just stay away from the fire. If you don't have a fire extinguisher, just call the police, run away. Do not go near the fire. Now, if the fire is too tall or it's high up and no one can reach it, remember, firefighters use a ladder. It helps them climb up, and they can use the fire hose that you can see in this picture, and they spray the water. Usually it's connected to a fire truck or a fire hydrant, because the fire hydrant is where all the water is to help put out the fires. And last is the buddy that helps out firefighters and stays at the fire station most of the time. They're kind of like their fire dog, fire station dog, and it's called a Dalmatian. Dalmatians are the dogs with all the spots on them. All right, friends, remember, rewatch, pause, look at the pictures, practice the words, look on the back like I showed you, and you can read those words as well. All right, enjoy.